following is a Buffalo City Life podcast. If you're interested in showcasing your podcast on our network, write to info@buffalocitylife.com. Please subscribe to us on iTunes and head over to buffalocitylife.com to check out other podcasts. Thank you for listening, and now on to the show.
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of the second review. I am your awesome host, Kaiba, along with Full Tilt, Zippo, and finally for the second episode, we got the Bill of Rights here with us. Say hi, Bill.
Hey, how's it going?
Alright, so here's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to jump right into Destiny's Iron Banner, as it is the hot thing this week. I'm going to talk about everything that's going on and the psychopaths that live in it. Then we're going to get Full Tilt talking about the new PS4 exclusive game of the month, Ether 1.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk a little bit about that. That game is really weird, but really cool.
All right, I'm going to be so excited to take a nap from that one. Zippo is going to be doing our first official review for the second review. He's going to be reviewing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And then finally bring up the rear is going to be Bill Wrights talking about The Last of Us Remastered Edition. Are you excited about that one?
Yeah, actually, it's not exactly a review on the game itself, as we all know the game rocks, but more of a review on how games should be ported, so I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet. So pretty much it tickles your fancy in every lovely spot.
Every spot. Sweet.
Slap and tickle.
All right, I'm going to get right into it for the Iron Banner, and I know Full Tilt and Bill of Rights, you are horrible players at this one.
That is not true. We all know that I did the top best in the banner a few nights already.
My KD ratio speaks different.
Yeah.
Well, my rank speaks different. Also, my coolness and my awesomeness and the way I kill people with fusion grenades.
Well, it actually is true for me. I'm pretty bad.
No, you just got sucked in with us, and you just decide to fight all the people that decide that they have no lives, no girlfriends, and can't even figure out how to use their right hand on the internet to basically live in the Iron Banner. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I go in there by myself. It's not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. I come in with you two, and it's like I get shot with people not even looking at their screen. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I know. But you got to expect. You read the writing on the wall where it says everything is going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, come on, guys. You read the description there. It says level capabilities like disabled. So basically, it's all no
level
hold.
Capabilities are enabled.
Enabled. Sorry, I apologize. But basically, it's an all holds bar. A no holds bar match. Like basically, you go in there, you better be good, and you better have good equipment because.
Which means everybody brings thorns.
Oh God! Don't even get me started with that damn gun. I hate it with a passion. People that play with that don't know what they're doing.
That's because the best gun there is actually bad juju.
Yeah. That's okay. And then Kevin brings Yalhorn. Oh, no, wait.
Oh. Why you gotta be hating on me? Why you gotta be hating on me, dude?
Even with Yalhorn, he's still not that good.
No. You know what? You know what the best gun to use right now? Midas.
No.
Right? Yeah.
No.
Not if my KD ratio has anything to say about it.
No, you don't want to know why? You know what the best weapon to use in there? And I'm going to flat out say it's not even a gun. It's not a rocket launcher. It's fusion grenades.
Oh, get out of here, dude.
Fusion grenades. Okay, you know why? Because I can get triple downs like that. Dude, I am like a combination of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and LeBron James put into one with those fusion
grenades. So a bunch of people that choke in the championship?
Pretty much.
I can remember Kobe winning 4 championships by himself. And you know what? I got to say this. Okay, you are good with fusion grenades. You can get a guy from across the field, stick him right in the face, end game. Why can't you shoot the broadside of a barn?
He can't. The person will be right next to him and he can't shoot.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that for you because my mentality's backwards. Okay, like I'm like it's weird like that. I don't understand. They come. I get I could stick them. Yeah, that's fine. Can I shoot them? Not really.
All right.
So what are some of the best hints and tips that you would have for people that are coming into the Iron Banner that they don't know what to expect. They don't know. I mean, they've played the Crucible a few times. What are some things that some advice that you could give them going into it?
One of the biggest pieces of advice that I can definitely give any, first timer going into Iron Banner is definitely weigh a little bit onto your specials. Now, if you're going to be running the Titan, I would definitely say, walk in with the Slam with Shockwave attached to it. Because if you do it that way, you can get in there, and even if you don't get anybody with it, but at least you give yourself that buffer zone. If you go in there, at least slam it down. Nobody, you don't catch anybody, no big, because you're going to cause a wave where they're going to at least disperse for a second, long enough for you to try and get a beat on them to fire back.
Right. I think you could actually expand that to your specials as well, like your grenades, your melee, everything. When those aren't up, I find that it's almost impossible to take out somebody. But, so you just really got to play super safe when you don't have any of those up. But the second you get a couple of them up, just, run in, do your best, and
lob them in.
Don't die like me.
Yeah, I could say this for the Iron Banner, for any tips and tricks in there, is the 3 biggest things you need to look out for is 1, make sure you're very well prepared because your weapons and armor do make a difference.
Definitely.
2, learn your map layouts because your map layouts are the better strategy you have, the better you're going to succeed in there. And number 3, watch how other people play because 9 times out of 10 in the Iron Banner, people have similar playing styles and similar places to go, and they're going to use almost the same amount of avenues to get to where you are and to practically kill you. And that's what it comes down to. It's just like learn those 3 things, and you're actually going to be more successful in there than you really think you are.
Definitely, and definitely, obviously watch out for the sniper lines. And pretty much anybody that doesn't know what that means, that is extremely long hallways where you can barely see the end of it.
Yeah.
Watch out because guys are going to sit in there with probably Black Hammer and Icebreaker.
Or Patience in Time.
Patience in Time, too, is now becoming a big one again. Just definitely stay away from those lines, and you should pretty much exceed at it.
Yeah, I agree. Get on to our next topic here. One game that I started playing a lot was Ether 1. It's the PS4 exclusive. So basically, that's an interesting video game. I don't know if any of you guys played it or if you've heard of it or anything.
You didn't even want to tickle your fancy with the pulse rifle that's being offered for the banner now? First time ever?
You know what? I actually completely forgot about that, to be honest with you.
You live on pulse rifles, and you don't even think about talking about the one pulse rifle that you, basically splooged over
Nope.
the other day online.
Because I completely forgot about it, in all honesty.
Oh,
I'm not going to lie, I did.
All right. Well, for that, guys, listen. Get into the Iron Banner because this week he's going to be offering up a pulse rifle for the first time ever. Does come out of the box with some pretty nifty abilities, but it can be re-rolled, so have fun with that.
Okay. Now getting back to that, and I apologize, audience, for jumping around real soon like that. But this is an interesting game I've been playing. Like I said, has anybody heard of Ether 1 before by any chance?
I downloaded it when it was for free, but I haven't touched it yet.
And what about you, Jay Zippo?
Nope, you actually mentioned a little bit at work what it was about.
Yeah, so basically, I've only been playing it with me and one of my other buddy here. But basically, what it's all about is that you're some guy, you work at some research facility, and you go into the mind of a person and you try to cure their dementia. And it's such an interesting concept because you only get to use one item at a time. You can only hold one item at a time. The puzzles make absolutely no sense, and it's the really good redeeming factor about it is the scenery and the music.
So what you're saying is the puzzles don't make sense. So
Yeah,
when you have something that says when one door closes, another opens, maybe and there's a door that's open. I'm just throwing this out there, but you might want to close that door and see what happens.
Well, I couldn't help it. I was thinking...
Yeah, everybody out there, if you get to that point, don't do what this schmuck did and sit there for 40 minutes trying to figure out how to close a door.
He's right about that. It's just, you have to think way outside the box of it. It's really good. And the interesting thing is that it used to be a PC game, so now they ported it to the PS4, PS3 area. And it's also on Steam, but I highly recommend playing the game because if it's an interesting challenge and it's something extremely unique. And I'm telling you right now, Kaiba, if you try to shoot that gun at me, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to leap across this and do something horrible to you.
For the people who can't actually see in a podcast, which would be, I don't know, everyone, he's actually aiming a Nerf gun at
I got him right
Full
in the
Tilt's
nip.
head.
Nope, right in the
nip.
nip.
I was gonna say it looks like the nipple to me.
I don't know. He's got a lot of
Nipple
padding there. I don't think
head.
that's gonna hurt. No offense, because I
Same
do too.
diff.
So.
Yeah. So, but like,
All
you
right.
know,
So if I'm a gamer that likes to play puzzle games, am I gonna want to play this?
it depends. Like like if you're looking for something new and interesting, then you might want to. But if if you're like really like only like into shooters or something like that, then but if you like indie games, I would definitely try it at least because it's like more of that genre, so it's not bad.
So you think this would kind of be one of those kind of niche games, kind of like Journey?
Yeah, it's like one of those like where it's like
Okay.
really interesting. It kind of reminds me of like what's a good game that I could think of? Like maybe like Limbo. Reminds me of like not like necessarily the play style or anything like that, but just the overall feel of it. It's like there's a lot of mystery surrounded behind it. You learn more about the story as it goes. So that's what I like interestingly about it.
It sounds a lot like The Room.
It's pretty much exactly like The Room, only like ginormous, and there's like multiple puzzles. There's like multiple different things to do in there, and even the big hint in the game is like if you think something looks important, it probably isn't important because the entire game has been like that so far. We're like I got a key in a game, and I'm like, oh my god, this key is shiny, golden, big, huge. Like it looks like it can open up all the doors in the area. It doesn't do squat.
It opens the trash.
It doesn't do anything. It goes on your shelf and collects dust. That's what it's gonna do.
All right. So basically, what you're telling me right now is that anybody with PS Plus right now should go download this game.
Yeah. Well, you should probably be able to download it now. So I would take a look at it if if it should still be there if the next one hasn't rolled in because obviously it's July now.
Tuesday.
So yeah, it might
Tuesday
still be
should
there.
The new games.
All right. Other than that, it's a great game. Go and check it out. So, anything else you guys want to add to the thought of that?
Yeah, this.
Not cool.
For the people who can't see into the podcast, he just shot him.
It's about time. So I do have a question about it.
Yeah.
Graphics-wise, I know a lot of people, harp on graphics. Is it basically just a puzzle game? I mean, is it like a 16-bit game or like what are you looking at graphics-wise?
Graphics-wise, is actually it's not a 16-bit game. It's definitely up there. It kind of reminds me of like PS3 graphics a little bit, but a different play style. Like it's hard to describe. Try to think of like a little bit on the graphics to like any of the Telltale games. Like it's kind of reminds me of that. Like it has a little bit of elements of like their drawings in there, but not that much. But like what sold me on it besides like the puzzle was actually the music. Like, the music is just intoxicating actually. So it's like an interesting like what's like I can't think of the word, but also it's just a really really good music soundtrack. Like when something happens and like something like an event happens, like this interesting music comes up. Like it's hard to describe. Like maybe like an orchestral like type maybe. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired from listening to that long and annoyingly horrible explanation of how this game is.
I'm sorry.
All right, so basically what we're looking at, guys, and for anybody that didn't give a crap of what he just said,
I cared.
I cared.
well, I didn't. That's just me, though. We're looking at, the same style of graphics, basically any kind of cell shading game that you'd see out there, any of the Telltale episodic series, Borderlands. We're looking at the same kind of graphics that had. Also, we're looking at a very big score soundtrack to this. Nothing that you're going to see in any other game like Call of Duty, where it's all, heavy metal and whatnot. You're looking at like almost like you're listening to a movie soundtrack.
Yeah, it about sums up.
Okay. All right. So you're definitely recommending this game to anybody out there that's into that kind of style?
Yeah, easily.
Awesome. All right, guys, go download that game today before it disappears. Ether 1 is the title. But now, the one guy who hasn't been speaking at all for the last, 10-15 minutes because of a long-winded, fat sumo Japanese guy speaking into a microphone. Jay Zippo, man, tell us about The Witcher 3.
Right, and also the fact that I don't play Destiny at all, which is fine. But when you guys start talking about Destiny, I really have nothing to add.
PC Master Race.
Yes, that too. And I don't have $400 for a console. But I like saying PC
And
Master
yet he
Race
has a
makes
few
lot more
thousand for
Yeah, you $5,000 to put that on a
sense. Well, it's also
graphic
for my
card.
business, so I kind of doubled up on that.
It was
so.
quote unquote for his business.
It is for my business. Don't blow my cover. All right, so for the first game review, I'm going to do Witcher 3, and for now, I think the way we're going to do is we're going to do story, gameplay, and graphics. That's kind of how we're going to roll with it, so that we can break it down a little bit better, and so that I don't go too far off on tangents, because I tend to do that.
Don't worry, I got a Nerf gun.
Okay, I might not go on tangents then. But for the scoring here, I did story 8, gameplay 9, and graphics 10, and I'm going to explain why. So the first thing to start was story. I gave it an 8. The reason behind it is that the previous games have been very immersive, and they followed kind of close to the actual books that were written about this. And if you didn't know, there's actually books that were written in Poland, and they're still trying, believe it or not, to translate them to American or English or whatever you want to call it, and they're basing this game loosely off these novels. So the first two have been very immersive, pretty complicated. If you ever listen to the lore, you go to YouTube and go to lore of Witcher 1 and Witcher 2. It's just very complicated, and 3 is really no different. But it's unfortunately, it tends to be extremely redundant in the storytelling. You have to go find somebody, then you find somebody, and then you have to find 3 other people to find one person. Then you got to find 7 people to find 2 people, and then it's essentially the same thing over and over again. What saves it is they have very unique scenarios, a lot of different things that happen during it. So I guess it's fine, but there's points in the story where you work and work and work and finish a certain part of the quest, and then you kind of feel like you didn't get anywhere. So that's why I didn't give it any higher than an 8 as far as story goes. There's a few other things with the story that I wanted to talk about. Is that when it came to magic in Witcher realm, or whatever you want to call it, it has no structure. It just was convenient to the storyline, which infuriates me. It's, I'm just going to make a portal. I'm just going to do this. It's well, why didn't we do this in the beginning and finish it in an hour? That always infuriates me with watching shows as well. It's why didn't you do that in the beginning? So in that aspect, it kind of gets, if you really immerse it and you're really paying attention, you're like, why did I just play 10 hours of gameplay just to end up with something that you could have done before this all started? So not huge on the magic and how it works and who has it and everything like that. So as far as The Witcher is concerned, he only has a few, so it's not like he could have done it, but his hot little sorceresses could usually.
That brings up a question. Nobody really cares about The Witcher story. Everybody kind of cares with who he hooks up with. Who does he hook up with in this one?
Hey, come on,
well,
man.
He hooks up with pretty much everyone. You can, and that's, again, that was my next point, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you have decisions in the game that are unique. So it's not, as far as that, it's not linear. If you make one decision, the game completely changes. So there's points where you can work through quests and bang what the one sorceress is Yennefer. You're always banging her, whether it's on a unicorn or in the middle of a cornfield.
Wait, go back.
Mm-hmm.
You're banging this chick on a unicorn.
Yeah, big stuffed unicorn.
She still has the unicorn.
No, not a live unicorn.
So there's definitely no, fancy dancy stuff with that horn, right?
No, or anything that hangs
I think
below.
it's more likely if it's stuffed than if it was a real horse.
Well, we might make a travel to Mexico here for a show, but...
And then there's Triss, which is my favorite. She's a redhead, and you can bang her, but you only have one opportunity to do it. And if you miss it, you don't get a chance to bang her.
All right,
How do you miss this?
Because you have a decision to send her off to a safe place because she's being persecuted and chased. She's also been killed a couple times. So to keep her safe, you send her on her way. Or you can be selfish and want to, wet your wiener and bang her a couple times. That's fine. And then you keep her here, and then she's in danger the entire time.
Does she die if you do that?
That I don't know, because I didn't make that decision. I
You made the
sent her
other?
on her way. I figured I was already banging Yennefer. That's cool. And anytime you want to, just go to one of the hoe houses and the whore houses, and you can bang up to like 5 different chicks in there too.
At one time?
There is one, which I haven't found. There's a secret one I haven't found yet where you can get a foursome.
Okay, if anybody finds this, please post it on. Post a comment telling me where to find this.
Okay, fine. Going to this. How much does that have to cost in Witcher money?
It's really not that bad, actually. It's like 40 gold, and I'm like, damn, that's pretty cheap. 40 gold. And then if you go to the low end ones, it's only 20. But I'm sure there's like smells and stuff
then
going on.
If you find Kaiba's mom, it's only like 2.
Right.
Oh,
and you
why'd
turn
you
around,
put my mom into
what
this,
are you doing
man?
here?
I would not want to walk through this game and see my mom and go, Mommy?
All right, so I'm gonna kind of divert back to the main point, but thank you for that. Was part of the story I wanted to talk about. Is the graphics. Really don't have to talk too much about the graphics. That's what I did for college. I was a graphics major. So I'm always really interested in how the graphics look. And when you're 70 hours in the game and like you're in the middle of a field and you turn around, there's this beautiful sunset and you have to stop and go, holy crap, that's gorgeous. After 70 hours of playing, you know the graphics are amazing. I have it on PC, but I hear that on the consoles it's just as beautiful. So I have my PC pretty cranked on it, so it's really beautiful. So not much more than that. I don't have to explain because it's a gorgeous game.
So what did you score the graphics on?
9.
9? There you
9.
go. Nice.
What would have made
I'm sorry,
it
10.
10.
I'm sorry, 10.
Oh, okay, so
it was a 10. I'm sorry, I
All
glanced
right.
at this. The gameplay is 9, which is nice segue.
Thank you.
The gameplay is 9. That's what the bulk of my review is going to be about, because essentially you can have the best looking game in the world and the gameplay sucks, and the game will suck, so it just doesn't matter. Order 18, whatever the heck it is, Order 18 from the
86.
PC. 86.
1886, yeah.
Gorgeous game, horrible gameplay, everyone hated it. So there you go. With the gameplay, of course, the number one thing is going to be your battling techniques. There's 2 different things you can do during a battle. One is protection, the other is attack. The protection, you have a sidestep, which is useful for closer one-on-one type of combat. The back roll is another. That's to get you the hell out of trouble when you're surrounded or there's a larger beast that's attacking you. That will send you farther away from where you were to get you out of danger. You also have a shield spell that you can cast. It's under a certain sign that allows you to do that at certain times during the battle. And then you also have a parry, which is really good for humanoids who have weapons themselves where you can block their...
Humanoids?
Humanoids, yes.
So we got aliens in this game now, too.
Now, humanoids being like humans, elves, dwarves, stuff like that.
People.
Humanoids.
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 Elves
They're
and
not
dwarves
humans,
are not humans.
but they're not monsters.
I didn't say they're humans. I said people.
Right, humanoids.
Humanoids.
Okay. So with that, you also have the attack. So when you go on the attack, you have the quick strike. Don't fire that. You have the quick strike, which you can usually like throw about 3 or 4 hits really quick on your opponent. You have a strong strike, which takes a much longer time, but it's more damage that you give. You also have fire and a telekinesis type of sign spell that you can throw at your opponents. The fire is fun because when you hit some of them, they catch on fire and it allows you to just start hacking at them. And then the other one is going to be your crossbow. That's good for aerial creatures and stuff like that. During the combat, you can also eat food to regenerate, which I always found comical. Because, you're battling, you got 20 monsters around. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get my chicken leg.
Oh, man.
Let me get my chicken sandwich. I mean, you have chicken sandwiches in this.
Wait, what?
Yeah, chicken sandwiches.
Are we talking like a Subway kind of chicken sandwich, or are we talking like, like just piece of chicken between 2 slabs
Well, see,
of
you're
bread?
supposed to actually gain health by it. So if it was a Subway sandwich, you'd probably lose health after eating it. So
don't be hating on the Subway.
I love you, Subway. Sponsor us. Okay. And then also you have some potions you can drink on. But I think one thing that the developer did, they didn't want the health potion because you can't find one anywhere. But you can
But you
drink
can find a chicken sandwich.
Yes, you can find a chicken sandwich, but not a health potion. You can drink a potion to increase your powers and stuff during combat, or to put something on your sword to actually poison your enemies and stuff like that.
Now I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
I know. I'm hungry, dude.
And then with combat, you have tons of different monsters. You have a huge bestiary. How do you say that?
Bestiary.
Bestiary. Thank you very much. And I'll just give you an example of one and how each monster is kind of unique and how you can battle it. They're wraiths, and if you just go at them, no matter which sword you go at them with, there's no damage taken. You have to actually cast a spell to get them inside this little ring that you create with the spell, and then you can attack it. But you don't know that off the bat, so when you go after them initially, you're
He gets slaughtered.
Yeah, you get slaughtered, essentially. So,
But here's a question. Against these wraiths, out of the box, could Chuck Norris beat a wraith?
of course,
Chuck Norris can beat anybody.
Chuck Norris doesn't teabag, he potato sacks. So some other things that you can do as far as gameplay is what's fairly unique to the game is Witcher Sense, where you can, it's like the right trigger, and you can hear monsters from a great distance.
Right off.
There's also a CSI mode.
You okay over there?
Oh, I was just thinking of something, and it's almost like I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, some Batman game somewhere. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you know, like
Detective mode, maybe.
yeah.
You could be right.
This was created in 2005, so if that is when yours did, then I will say okay.
I stand corrected. I think Arkham Asylum came out around 2008. So
Yeah.
Witcher 1 started development in 2005, and that's actually part of the lore that he has this ability. So he might have ganked it from someone else. I don't know, but I mean, for as far as that's concerned, I know they started development in 2005 for the first one. So
nice.
you can hear monsters from a distance. There's a CSI mode where when you're looking for stuff, you can follow scents, you can follow tracks very easily. You can also find containers that are being searched, doors that can be opened, and things that can catch fire and get blown up, which is real fun. There's also something called a game called Gwent. I can't even say it. Gwent. I've never played it because I just don't want to play a card game, but I guess from...
It's actually pretty fun.
Is it? Yeah, I heard that it's like a lot of fun, and you can get into it, and you can get special cards, and there's quests where you're just looking for cards, and I'm like, if I wanted to play cards...
Not as good as the Final Fantasy VIII card game.
Triple Triad. Yes.
You know, if I wanted to play cards, I would go in one of those strip poker games and do that, so at least I'd get some kind of
They have a
relief.
strip poker game in there?
No, just I'd go on the internet.
Oh, I'd say if there's a strip poker game in this game, I'd buy it immediately.
Yeah.
Well, if you got a foursome, that's not good enough for you. Strip poker, that's good. Gotcha.
You know, I got to fill my time. Okay, so some of the less than desirable things is there are times when you battle things and they kind of gang up on you, and there is absolutely no way to get out of it. And then you have to wherever the last save, which is if you don't save often, you do go back quite a bit. So in that aspect, I kind of call it a Dark Souls type of thing, where you get killed and now you got to like go do a bunch of shit again. Another thing is the inventory system really sucks in it. It's probably the worst thing about it. You go in there and you're trying to look for something. It's near impossible to find something in there. Another thing is brewing potions, even though that some of them they'll hand hold you through it. But there's other points where it's completely confusing. You have no idea what you're doing in there.
Yeah, I've played the first maybe hour or so of the game, and I believe I have an option for brewing a potion for this girl that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the items in it, I have absolutely zero clue where I'm supposed to find it. It's like the drowner's brain or something like that. And, I pretty much, after looking around for like 2 hours, I stopped playing the game. And I really haven't played it since. So,
well, you're not going to like find it, and you have to go kill a drowner, and they have them. You can pull it off a drowner.
What's a drowner?
It's a monster.
Oh, not a humanoid.
And it's by the water.
Wow.
Yeah. So all you got to do is go by the water.
Do they only show up at night? Because I was following the water a little bit, but are they just a monster that only comes out at night, or?
Not necessarily, but when you get into the water and start splashing, then that's when they start coming out. If you don't do anything near the water, they don't usually come out.
Oh, that all makes sense now. The drowner's trying to drown you. Gotcha.
Right. So as far as gameplay goes, it's really, if you like an RPG, like open world RPGs, this game does not disappoint. It's a lot of fun. I'm on the last part of the entire game, like the final part of the quest. And holy shit is it hard. I'm about 3 hours into it. I just can't beat it. It's don't even start with that. No, I just
Too open,
so I guess my recommendation, if you're going to play the game, you cannot speed run this game. You cannot do it because if you speed run the quest, when you get close to the end, there are some really, really tough battles you got to do, and if you don't have the power or the level to do it, you're screwed. You're just going to, and it's not forgiving either. It's not like, well, maybe if I do, no, you're dead. That's pretty much it. So the last, I'm getting there, but it is really tough. So
Is there a max level?
no.
So basically, if you really wanted to spend the time to level yourself up to ridiculous amounts, could you make that last part really simple?
For the most part, yes. I think if I had a couple more levels in me and I had a couple more, because when you gain a level, you gain points in all your attributes, so you can put it towards either your attacks or your spells and stuff like that. Yeah, if you can do a couple more levels, I think I'm at like level 24, and I'm really struggling at the end. I'm getting to a point where I'm almost there, but like last few opponents are like near impossible. So
Maybe level 30 to 35 for that last part.
well, you would coast through the end. I would say maybe 26, 27. It'll keep it challenging, but you'd be able to. It wouldn't be a dark. Like I'm in Dark Souls mode at this point. I'm running through it, cursing at it, wanting to throw my controller across the room because I'm dying and I have to go back and start again.
So enemies don't level up with you like they do in like Mass Effect or anything. There's some RPGs where, like the earlier Final Fantasy games, you could go around, level up, and then just coast through the rest of the game because you're like 6 levels above all the content. Then there's others where you level up and where your guy gets stronger, like in Final Fantasy VIII, all the enemies also get stronger. So leveling up is just more for the fun of it. So in Witcher 3, like you can level up and you can exceed the bad guys in the end.
Essentially, yes. And I'm glad you brought that point up because if you start off and you somehow find yourself into an area that has... I've gone to an area where there's level 30 monsters and I was level 5. So yeah, you're right. They don't level with you. They kind of try to keep you in areas where they're kind of the same, but if you find yourself wandering too far, it ends up you're fighting monsters twice your level. So that's another good thing to note, that it's fun to explore, but there's times when you're exploring and you're an hour exploring and you got all the nice loot and you banged a chick and you're all happy and this monster jumps out and kills you and you got to do it all again.
So in other words, don't lead with your face.
Right.
So would you score that for the gameplay?
I gave that a 9 because there was a few, and it does get a teeny bit repetitive, but it got repetitive at like hour 60 or 70.
I still disagree. I still think the combat's too repetitive. But maybe it's only because I've only played the first hour. I haven't gotten into a lot of the more complicated battles.
And different monsters too are big.
I mean, it's not Morrowind bad, but when you have Morrowind on one end and you have the Batman series on the other, I feel like it falls somewhere in the middle. But it just was too hack and slash for me.
Right. So I gave the story an 8. I gave the gameplay a 9. I gave the graphics a 10, and then overall I gave it a 9. 9.
Woo!
I'm not German. Oh, I am German. 9. Durr.
So in other words,
9.
So can I label this as a sexy game?
With all the chicks and the literally, you go into a bathhouse, there's like 100 boobs just staring at you. It's wonderful.
So
Sexy
you
game.
don't need the nude cheat for this game. It
No.
just comes out of the box. Got it.
It's a new cheat out of the box. I'm sure somebody's going to end up, with, showing insertions and stuff like that, but hasn't quite got to that point. But
I have the clit patch.
Yeah. Or like the Skyrim's dick
G-spot.
mod. So that's my review. That's all I got to say about that.
Awesome. All right, so everybody out there that is a fan of this series and hasn't bought this game yet, go buy it.
Yeah, well
Drop
worth
your
it.
$60, go buy this game, and lose your life to it, and possibly a lot more.
Nice.
Yes.
There you go.
Sweetness. All right, let's keep moving this show along a little bit more. We're going to be talking about The Last of Us Remastered. And I know I played the first Last of Us, and it drove me bonkers trying to beat this damn game. So what's new about it?
There's actually a lot new about it. In the remastered version, and I want to state that they really did this the right way. I want to start off by saying that there's a lot of ports out there, like even the Final Fantasy X port. I didn't really appreciate their port. I mean, they upgraded some of the graphics in the main area, but basically it was a direct port. There was no, they call it HD, and that's exactly what it is. It's just the HD version of Final Fantasy X. With The Last of Us Remastered, they really upped the game on every level. They, when you're talking about graphics, they went from 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second, which your eyes actually see at about 32 frames per second. So, that jump actually makes it feel a lot smoother. They upped the graphics from 720 to 1080. They implemented all the tiny little things with your remote control. You can bring up your inventory with the middle button. But other than that, they basically kept the story the same. Because, the story is amazing. It's just from the beginning to the end, it's amazing. They didn't really need to change anything. But the one thing I really like that they did is that the PS3 version had a lot of DLC. And, DLC has been a touchy subject for a lot of gamers. And I feel like a lot of people go out and put DLC out way too soon. They put out a game that's half finished, and they just use the DLC to, make up whatever money, they didn't make with their $30 price tag, or
So, Batman Arkham Origins?
Yeah, pretty much all the Batman. Well, pretty much every Steam game out there nowadays. But the one thing that they did is they took all the DLC from the PS3 game and they rolled it into this. So you can get the Left Behind prequel. You can really, you've got everything in here, and it's all remastered. It's all done well. I've actually played the part that you were talking about where you were having issues with the clickers, with all the clickers being all in the same section. I've never had that issue. So it seems like they took their time to be able to knock out a couple bugs, make it look nicer, and just took an already amazing game that's been rated 10 across the board and make it even better and bring it to a whole new generation of people. I actually hadn't played The Last of Us Remastered on the Last of Us on the PS3. So when I came into it on the PS4, it was completely new to me, and I absolutely love the game. So I actually had to look up to find out what was different, and when I looked and I found out, I was really impressed. So if any of you liked The Last of Us, I would definitely, and you're not sure about playing it on the PS4, there's no difference. You may not get anything out of it. It really is just a direct port with a couple little features on your controller and a little bit better graphics. But if you've never played it before, you heard all about it on PS3 and you're looking to play it, it's definitely worth it to get the PS4 version instead of streaming it through PS3.
Now, have you heard the rumor that they're coming out with Last of Us 2?
No, I have not heard that rumor.
That is one of the rumors that are starting to float. So with that, I'm going to ask you what direction you want them to take with that.
See, I haven't beat it yet. I'm about 80%
married.
through.
You should beat it every night. But that's a whole other story. Go on.
Yeah, so I haven't beat it yet. I would say that they just kept to the story. The gameplay is not exactly the most exceptional. It's pretty typical of the genre. It's smooth. It's nothing holds you back, but at the same time, it's the story that pulls you in. It's almost like you're watching a little mini movie, and it's just amazing. So yeah, I would say that they just keep to that. Don't try to monopolize on stuff like Batman Arkham or anything like that. Just stick to the recipe and just extend the story.
Why you gotta bring Batman into this, man?
Why
you gotta bring the Batman in?
Always about Batman.
Well,
It's Batman.
As far as that story goes, because the rumor of The Last of Us 2, how are they supposed to make a story even better by continuing? that story was a perfect 10. Let's face it or not. Like that story brought people to their knees. It was so good. Like, how are you supposed to make it even better or even match it in the second
I
game?
have to inject
All
into
new
that one.
characters.
For anybody out there that just heard that, this is a guy that cries. It's a Kingdom Hearts franchise when retarded crap happens all the time. This is a man who cries
At retarded crap.
at retarded crap.
That is not.
I will back him up on this.
Oh,
This
come on,
story,
no,
this
no, no.
story will make you cry. It is what it is.
Okay.
It's immersive.
It's very immersive.
I
and
don't think it's going to make me cry. I think the story more gives you a little bit of a whimper.
Well, if you have no heart,
or soul.
I have a soul. It's just very black.
Listen, I've read countless
shoe.
articles. I've talked to countless friends of mine who've played this, and like it just, you get so immersed into the game for that storyline. That's pretty much the only reason why people played that game was for the storyline. For the most part, it was so good that like it brought every emotion out. And I've never actually played it. I played it. I've seen Kaiba here play it.
It made you horny?
And it was bringing me
Tickle
into it.
was
And I wasn't even playing the game. And I'm like, wow, I should go out and buy this. And I'm going to pick it up now just because I actually want to play it for the story.
No, I'll definitely say I did get stuck in one spot, which was in the school because for whatever happened, maybe my game just hated my guts, like everything
or
else
maybe
in
you're
life.
just a bad player.
Oh, hey, how about my KD ratio in the Iron Banner? You want to bring that one up?
Shooters and those kind of games are two separate things. You can't weigh them.
I can do it.
Weigh 'em.
Yeah, one requires actual thought.
Oh my god. I fucking hate it on all over. But no, I will say it's like, at one spot I did get hit with 5 clickers in one spot, but throughout the entire game that I played, I definitely did love that story as far as I got with it. And if Last of Us 2, definitely gets a reasonable release date, and I will say probably like maybe next year or this following spring, I will probably pick up Last of Us Remastered, get back into this game, and really get to the end of it.
They should just release Last of Us 2 as a movie. That's what I'm thinking. Just, live action movie. There you go. I mean, seriously, that's what this game is. It's a movie from the beginning to the end. Last of Us 2 should just be a movie.
I'll tell you what, why don't you call up Wes Craven, and after he's done with the Dead Space movie, he can start on The Last of Us.
Ooh, Dead Space.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for next
That's awesome.
time.
For next
Yeah, for next time, guys. For next time.
All right. So just to recap everything we've been talking about today, kids, if you are a fan of Destiny or any shooters, Iron Banner is out today with some pretty spiffy prizes. We were also talking about Ether 1, which is a very convoluted puzzle game, right?
That's a pretty
True.
big word for you. Where did you look? Word of the day toilet paper. I bet you anyone
got
knows what it
Google.
is. Oh, Google, okay.
Google's my boy.
I thought she
So
was a girl.
Ether 1, guys, if you got PS Plus, which pretty much now PS4 gamers have to have it to be able to play any online multiplayer game. So go download it. It's free, guys. Run it. Jay Zippo with his Witcher 3 review, which is very enlightening, and I'm going to probably troll the internet like every other person and try to find the foursome in this game and experience it for myself.
He's just going to watch it on YouTube tonight.
Yeah. The Last
Bring
of
the
Us-
lotion. And a Kleenex or something to clean.
I just got bad images in my mind. Oh, God. Jeez. And we talked about The Last of Us Remastered. Would you like me to lick
It
them
is
too?
cold in here, man. The air conditioning kicked on. My nipples just went through my shirt.
I'm just trying to warm him up. That's all.
We talk about The Last of Us Remastered. For anybody who has been kind of looking in the window at this game and you haven't really jumped into it, it definitely looks like it's a worthwhile buy. I know I'll go get it full tilt, probably go and cheese all over it and then play it.
Yep.
And then, Jay Zippo can go to.
Bring the Kleenex.
Who's full tilt? You mean Ninjutsu?
No,
I'm
Ninjutsu!
sorry, Ninjutsu.
No, it is
And
not.
he's wearing the same shirt from yesterday.
I am not wearing the same shirt from
I'm
yesterday.
thinking about it now. Yes, you
No,
are.
I
It looks
I
just like the-
swear.
You were wearing the same
No,
shirt.
I was not. I was.
Either that or it's the most effed up thing because I just got back
No.
before you that you were wearing that on Thursday.
No. This is not the same shirt from yesterday. I was wearing a dark maroon shirt on yesterday. You guys need to get your heads checked.
Really? You're going to ask me to get my head checked?
Mine's already been checked. We already know it's got flaws.
All right, and then so basically bringing that up, Next week I'm hoping to be able to finally beat Batman Arkham City. I'm just being really, really lazy. So hopefully that'll be the next review for next week. And also we're going to be...
Arkham City?
Arkham City. Why? Oh,
Arkham City.
damn. I'm a moron today. Arkham Knight, guys. Wow. It's time to go home. So hopefully I can speed run through Arkham Knight enough to at least be able to give you guys a sizable review about this massive game. And also we'll be, probably talking about more stupid crap around the internet.
Fair enough.
Maybe we'll even hit up Dead Space.
That's
Yeah.
base.
And you guys can follow me on YouTube, YouTube.com/BERUUD.
Yeah.
Be rude.
You can always find me on Google Plus, Joseph Tilton. Just type in my name and literally the anime picture of me will come up. You'll find me very easily.
Hashtag ninjutsu.
It's not.
All right, guys. This is Kaiba, Full Tilt, Jay Zippo, and the ever-talented Bill of Rights. Hopefully he'll be around next week for this podcast. This has been the second review. Thanks for joining us, and come back next week.